But
Uh-huh.
I have some breaking news for you tonight.
Yeah, it's about pudding.
No. It's about plagiarism.
Oh,
Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
hi everybody.
I apologize for sounding like this. I really am sick, Jack. I fucking hate this shit. But how you doing tonight, man?
Sick. I'm pretty good. How about yourself, other than being sick?
I'm good. I don't sound like that tonight. How dare you?
No, you sound like a 5-pack a day smoker.
I'm only saying that because we have started shows before the show when you first hear me. I do sound like that, but tonight's not one of them. My voice is just a little screwed up.
I know. I just like trying to give you a complex.
I am actually, despite all this, I'm pretty well. I really am. Phoebe has recovered like fully. And other than the fact that she clearly blames me for everything that happened, she's doing well. We're still taking her to the vet tomorrow. Somebody asked me, Monkey, early, are you sick? Well, yeah, but that's not why we're going early. We're going early so that hopefully I can get some sleep tonight, so we can take Phoebe to the doctor tomorrow. I'm awake at least, you know. Yeah, she's acting better. She's everything seems to be functioning normally. How about we'll just leave it at that?
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I also have a doctor's appointment tomorrow.
Are you gonna get like dewormed or something?
No, I'm probably gonna get a prostate exam. I gotta do my annual. So
you're getting wormed.
Yeah.
Alan, thank you so very much for that donation. I appreciate it. Good morning to you as well. Speaking of which, I need to address this, Jack.
Oh, what's that?
So last night,
are you firing me?
No.
Oh, okay, good. All right, cool then.
Last night I was mentioning that I was having issues with my RAM, and for reasons that I cannot explain, it's working now. We're just going to leave it at that. I did not screw up. I promise you. I know what I'm doing. But it's true. But it is working now. But I got a donation offline. A disgruntled technician, very, very kind of you, says life may suck and be unfair, but you know what doesn't suck? G-Skill Aegis RAM. Get 32 gigabytes and 4-channel kit and stop having problems with enough to cover the cost of doing that. That is very, very, very kind of you, sir.
I understood those words as English.
And also, disgruntled technician, thank you. Directed at Bubba. Of course, Fat Boy is Christy. He's the only one that makes the stage smaller from the gravitational pull. Wow.
That's funny.
He's not wrong. He is not wrong. And JB, thank you so very much for that very kind donation. Have some monies and half to Jack. Thank you very, very much. It's very kind.
Absolutely. Let me grab a couple here. Thank you, Disgruntled Technician, from 2 hours ago for that very generous donation. Gave Monkey a big donation. Felt bad. Go have a decent dinner or something on me. I appreciate that. And I'm not above pity or guilt money. So I really appreciate that. And thank you, Alan, who also gave a generous donation. Says, hello, Jack. Hi, Alan. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well out there. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's raining in mine.
Yeah, it started raining here too, which kind of sucks because I was hoping to use the Starlight tonight because the Starlight. Yeah, I'm just doing this by Starlight.
You've seen tonight?
I wanted to play that video of the trans person freaking out because the guy behind the counter correctly identified that they were born a man.
Yeah.
Like you're not even ashamed of yourself, are you?
I don't know these words. Man, if I was a foreigner, I'd be playing that card all the fucking time. I don't know these words. I don't understand no English.
It's just really stupid. And we'll get to more on that stuff because the New York Times article that I read today really annoyed the shit out of me. And that's pretty much the only thing I brought to the table because it's a rather long article, Jack.
Oh, yeah?
So if there's stuff you want to cover, you might want to get it to me now. So we'll do it first. Just saying. But something's blowing up on YouTube right now. Do you know who Hbomberguy is?
Yeah, I know that name.
Hbomberguy, for those of you who remember the video, questions for anti-SJWs.
Oh, yeah, he's the blonde guy that looks like a a pervert shoe salesman.
Oh, you have no idea. No idea. Wait, I'll bring up his video in a second so you can see what he looks like now. But he was the one that kept going, why do they all like the skulls? What's with all the skulls? He thinks he's funny. He's really not. But he released a 4-hour video about plagiarism on YouTube.
About people plagiarizing?
Yes. About people stealing content from other people.
I wasn't sure if it was a how-to or not.
No. He's calling people out. And I have not got to see the whole video because it's 4 fucking hours long.
Yeah,
but
you have to listen to that, dude.
Yeah, he can't just fucking speak. He's gotta, I'm so clever. That guy's really not that funny.
They never are. People that think they're hilarious usually aren't. Like, other people will tell you if you're funny. You don't just assume you are. That's a terrible idea.
Looking through his video, it's broken down into chapters because it's 4 fucking hours long. And like, he covers the Illuminati thing, that chick who accused the legal channel of plagiarizing her because they used a graphic that highlights words, which many people have done going back to the 90s on television.
Yeah, and it's not like she invented that.
Yeah.
Did she get it from somebody else too?
I don't know if she got it from someone else too. I do know her claims that other people using it are stealing from her are fucking retarded.
Well,
but
yeah, that's good.
He also covers this guy whose name I'm not even familiar with, Robbie something or some shit like that. I don't even care about that guy. However, one of the people that he accuses, and I haven't been able to find the specific part, is Internet Historian. Do you know who that is?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know who Internet Historian is.
Yeah.
That's good content.
Apparently, there's a 25-minute chunk of this 4-hour video accusing Internet Historian of plagiarism.
Is it because he uses clips?
I honestly don't know. From what I've seen of the rest of it, it's not just using clips that this isn't like the Hassan thing where he's sitting there watching somebody else's video. Yeah. This has been a thing on YouTube for quite a while, honestly. It pops its head up every now and then where somebody will make a video and their smaller channel and a much bigger channel will just flat out steal it.
Yeah, I remember that in the big skeptic days. There were a lot of these people that would just rip off others. It was very big problem back then. And then the apocalypse hit and everybody went away.
There's still people who do this kind of stuff. Like S Sniper Wolf, believe it or not, a lot of her content is literally just stolen from another person.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all.
This is what Hbomberguy looks like now. It looks like he ate Kevin Logan and turned into him.
Oh my God, he looks terrible.
Doesn't he?
Wow.
And I don't know if this is because again, I haven't watched the whole video. I don't know if this coat that's burned and ripped and stuff is just for this, or if he honestly thinks the I survived a kitchen fire thing is a trendy look.
Yeah, he probably paid like $100 for that shirt.
Yeah,
kind of fat.
But yeah, so I'm very curious to find out what his specific allegations are against the Internet Historian, because I'm not a fan of this piece of shit. This guy's an asshole.
Yeah, he looks pretty homeless. So.
He is a deliberately, how do I want to put this? Deceitful guy in a lot of his tellings of stuff.
Oh yeah,
but not always. So I mean, he's one of those people that I take on a case-by-case basis. When it comes to being annoying, he's always fucking annoying.
Yeah,
I don't see your avatar. What?
Yeah, your avatar appears to me on the behind the scenes, but when you're watching the video, like the play,
interesting.
Your avatar's not there, so I don't know what that's all about. Because I can see it.
Huh? I can see it too. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, but if you actually go over to the stream, you can't see it.
Well, let's see if this changes it. Can y'all see that?
I'll let you know in a few seconds.
It's Christmas time. Might as well bring out the reindeer monkey.
Oh.
So yeah,
Yeah, I can see that.
there we go. Okay, so there you go, guys. There's a new monkey for you for the holiday times. I'm very curious to see what the specific allegations are against Internet Historian, but this shit is blowing up. Hbomberguy, for better or for worse, has a decent audience. He's got some respect for reasons I can't explain. But one of the guys that he talks about, who he spends a very large portion of this video going over, if you look at the chapters, has apparently deleted a whole bunch of his social media.
Oh,
yeah, and locked down his videos and everything. So he might actually
struck a nerve.
Somebody struck a nerve. Yes, yes. So if you guys want to check that out, I will throw it into chat. Like I said, I wish I had more information on it, but this video is 4 fucking hours long. It's 4 hours, Jack.
Yeah. I don't know if I could do that.
Thank you, Travis Gardner. Wait, is that? Oh, God damn it. I think it's what that said. It popped off the screen right at the last second. I will go back and read it in a second. I was trying to get the link here. And then my brain went, read that, even though you can't get it all, you retard. My brain doesn't always make the best choices, Jack.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm just saying. Sometimes it's like, we can do it. And then I try and I can't. These things happen. Yeah, it does. It says, what is that? It says, wait, is that? Oh, God damn it. Yes. So I did read it right, Jack. My brain was right for a change.
Yay.
Yay, go me.
Yeah, we're all proud of you.
But anyway, that whole thing is blowing up. If you guys want to check it out, there's the video. Go ahead, bud.
Thank you, Evolved Potato. Did he mention one of the internet's biggest plagiarizers, Hassan, head too small for his roided body, Piker? Or does he get a pass because he's a champagne socialist?
Well, again, I haven't watched the whole video. I did see, oh fuck, what's that person's name? Somebody gave a criticism of the video where they said, I'm not disagreeing with what he said here, but it is shocking the omissions that are there. Now, well, yeah. In fairness, Hassan doesn't plagiarize, he steals.
Yeah, plagiarism means you're taking it and claiming it as your own, as opposed to just playing it and wandering off.
Yeah. And where was that other one? Somebody asked for the TLDR. Basically that this happens on YouTube. Again, this has happened. Fuck. Was it SDA that this happened to? Somebody we know this actually happened to, and it was a female creator, and they made a video, and somebody else just basically cribbed the whole fucking video beat for beat.
Yeah.
They just
that was Weibo, wasn't it?
Was it Weibo?
It was either Weibo or SDA.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, I
remember they were on Lords of the Night talking about it. It's just
this is not a new phenomenon on YouTube. It's really not.
Phenomenon.
And unlike where you might see, let's say CBS News does a story, so ABC will do a story, and at least then, there's different wording. These things are like beat for beat. Like the only difference is they might use a different picture. But the whole thing is like literally just the same script with slight word changes in the exact same order. It's like when who's that fat, ugly female comedian? Amy Schumer. When she tries claiming, no, me and the dead black guy, we just came up with the same joke, even though hers it's in the same order that she tells it, like the exact same fucking order. Like, yeah, that just happened naturally.
Yeah.
And it really is. It's something that's been plaguing YouTube for a long time. And I don't know that there's anything you can even really do about it.
Probably not.
So, unless there becomes a way to sue people. Now, Hbomberguy starts off his video, because I did watch the beginning of it, talking about this case from, I think it's 1973, where this guy comes up with a character called Brillo. Brillo is a robot detective. He's a robot police officer. Get it, Brillo? I didn't even get it when Hbomberguy had to point this out, and I feel a little dumb for this. He's Metal Fuzz. Get it? Fuzz, metal robot cop. Get it? Ha. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy tries to sell his idea for this robot cop to a television station. I forget which one. It's ABC, CBS, whichever. And the guy in charge was like, nah, bruh, not interested. And so a few months later, he goes to try to sell it to another one, which at this time, that same executive has moved over there, and he gives the same pitch to the same guy at a different network who goes, nah, bruh. And then they put out their own robot detective show. And the writers sued and won. And it's like one of the last times that writers have been able to actually win a case like that.
Mm-hmm.
We see it all the time with people going, I pitched that idea to you guys. And they're like, nah, it's not the same idea just because it's exactly the same.
Yeah, like Disney makes you sign a waiver saying that if we conveniently make the exact same thing as yours, you can't sue us.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Travis Gardner, thank you so much. Hbomberguy is awful. The Surfs had a stream about the drama between him and Illuminati. I've not liked Hbomberguy pretty much since I got onto YouTube because it does. My introduction to him is that video I talked about earlier, and I've watched some of his stuff, and he's just highly annoying. And Cryptic, thank you. When Mike gets married, it's going to be. Oh, sorry, that says when Mickey gets married, it's going to be a Hobbit theme. Tell her boyfriend to pop the question already so we can visit the Shire. You leave Mickey alone. Mickey, if you get married, congrats. If not, congrats.
Whatever makes you happy.
Whatever happens to work for you.
Yeah.
So
don't get married, you'll lose all your cool stuff.
So of the three people that I know that were talked about in this Hbomberguy thing, Illuminati, she pretty much destroyed her career with that because it made people start actually paying attention to her. And it turns out she's a horrible bitch. It's true, man. It is. We have not gone over half the drama that actually popped up around all of that.
Yeah, it sounded really annoying.
The other person is the one that I mentioned that I can't remember his name, who pretty much locked down all the social media and disappeared from a bunch of places. And then the third is the internet historian. So I'm curious what's going to happen with that one. And there may be other people in there as well. Like I said, it's a 4-hour video, Jack. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna crib his video on plagiarism. I'm gonna plagiarize his plagiarism video. I'm just gonna
believe that's called irony.
I'm just gonna cut it down to human length. It's about plagiarism on YouTube, bro. Why is it 4 hours long? Fuck. Anyway. I guess he brings the receipts, Jack, and then he's got to get his hour and a half worth of his crappy jokes in as well.
Yeah, it is. It's inane ramblings that he thinks are pseudo-intellectual nonsense.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll let that one go, and we'll move on. I do see you have something here.
Indeed.
I'm
trying to find the other article I wanted you to talk about.
Oh, sure. But while you got one here, we'll go ahead and get started on that, shall we?
Oh, indeed.
All right. Greg Abbott to make illegal border crossings a state crime in new Texas bill. Well, good, because the feds aren't fucking doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, go ahead and hit the article because I don't want to spoil anything.
Libra says Omegon gave you a shout out on his video on New York's height decriminalization. Did he really?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's good people. I like Omegon. We have not got to talk, one-on-one, person-to-person in a long, long time, but we do occasionally hit each other's chats. And I still recommend his stuff. I love the guy's sense of humor. He is so dry, man.
Yeah, a lot of his jokes are just like sneak past because you're like, oh, yeah. Wait a minute.
You guys might know this, enjoy a dry sense of humor. Throwing that out there. All right. So Greg Abbott, to make it illegal to, illegally cross into the state. On Sunday, Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced that he would sign a bill into law that would make it a crime for illegal immigrants to be in the state of Texas. He said that the bill would grant police officers in every agency the authority to arrest migrants entering the state illegally. That shouldn't be something you have to pass a new law for.
Should be, but here we are in the land of ridiculousness.
The move comes as U.S. southern border struggles to contain the historic mass influx of illegal immigrants at the hands of President Biden's open border policies. All right, who are we reading here? This is American. Oh, this is from Post Millennial. Okay.
Yeah.
The only reason I ask is because, we see a very clear bias there.
Yeah.
You don't get that from like a CNN, like his open border policies. They'd be like, even though he's fighting all he can to keep the border secure, it's the most secure border to ever be breached, ever.
Yeah, they're going to fluff it like Kamala Harris on a Thursday.
Yeah, I do. If we see a clear instance of bias, I like to point out what side it came from. And Post Millennial does lean quite conservative, so doesn't make them wrong. Just saying. Governor Abbott made the announcement while speaking to Fox News host Maria Bartiromo. Is that the right? Did I say that right? Even close?
Yeah, I think so.
Bartiromo on Sunday morning's Future in a segment about the border crisis. Texas is having to step up and do even more to make sure that we deny illegal entry into the state of Texas, Abbott said. As a result, in 2 weeks, I'll be signing a law in the state of Texas. They'll make it illegal for people to enter the state of Texas from another country illegally, and authorizing every peace officer in the state of Texas to arrest those people entering our country. Now, this, I think, is going to get shot down in the courts really quickly. And it'll be interesting to see how it's justified. You know what they're going to do with this, right? They're going to pull a 14th Amendment case on this. They're going to say that, you can't deny the laws of your state to other people that would normally have those laws. That equal protection under the law. Well, and we run into this with the illegal thing all the time. If you're here illegally, you don't have the equal protections of the U.S. laws because you're not a citizen. You get out. Come here legally if you want equal protection.
Listen to that hate.
That shit was made for slaves, not for people who are running away from being poor in another country.
It's the same thing, monkey.
It's really not.
The hate fact.
Yeah, this is going to get it's going to get challenged on two grounds: one on the 14th Amendment, and one on federal law overriding state law.
Well, they're not enforcing the federal law, so
Is
there a way you could argue they abandoned it?
You could, and that'll probably be the argument that's made. But what they're going to argue is that if the feds have said, "Hey, they can be here because they're waiting for their asylum request," then you can't arrest them because they're here kind of legally, even though they're here illegally.
I think they should go on the nana boo boo, stick your head in doo doo defense.
I think you should be like, all right, come take them.
Oh, they're not going to do that. They're going to be like, just leave them there. It's fine. You can keep them, Texas.
Yeah, make it a fucking felony. Make it a felony to cross the border into Texas from Mexico, and punish it by like 20 years in Siberia.
Hard labor.
Yeah, when the feds aren't doing their job, what else do you expect people to do?
I don't know. This is the type of stuff that fractures countries because you can't selectively enforce the law and expect people to follow that.
Yeah, I don't know how you. These are people who are like, we can't have two-tiered system of justice. These people are literally here illegally, and you're like, we shouldn't do anything about that. What other crimes are you like that with? I guess that's not as good an argument these days because fuck it, commit all the crimes.
Yeah, well.
Up to and including terrorism. Everything's fine. You probably had a good reason for doing it. As long as you didn't shoot anybody, because they get a little testy about that sometimes.
That depends who you shoot.
Depends on who you shoot. Yeah, there's always a way to justify it. I'm so sick of these fucking people.
I know.
No, kick them out. That's I don't know what good it does locking them up in the state of Texas. I really do think we should get those circus cannons and just fire them right back over the border.
Oh, absolutely. I've been advocating that for a while now. But I'm also not opposed to landmines being along the border either, so I'm a bit of a monster.
I'm more of a fan of a trebuchet because I think they're fun. They're more fun to watch.
That's true.
I think loading them, it takes a lot longer than reloading the cannon.
Yeah. And you can play circus music. Welcome the gladiators. While you're shooting the cannon off.
Let people pay to. Have you ever seen the? This is so weird. There was a communal game of Pokemon one time, where everybody could log into this one game of Pokemon and decide what happens, like whether you walk north, south, east, west, throw a Pokeball, try to catch somebody, and it is a shit show to watch if you've ever seen it. I think they should do that with the cannons. Put it online, and you have like say 20 minutes, and if you donate $1, you can adjust the altitude of the cannon. And at the end of 20 minutes, wherever that ends up with all the donations and stuff, you fire them off right there. And we give a range, right, Jack? We don't want to shoot them straight up because then they're just going to still be here. But whether you want to see them to go far or high, we let the people decide.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
That's democracy.
Jesus,
Shio, thank you. Wheelie Wheelie Legs No Feely Abbott. Wow. That's true.
That's so horrible. I should be laughing at that.
Greg, take a stand. Anyway.
Oh my God, yeah. Fucking Biden.
Good old Joseph Biden. All right. Next up, we have China. China Defense Report links high altitude spy balloon to hypersonic missile program. How? China's high altitude balloon program is linked to the military's hypersonic missile program, and a new command for both systems is prepared to conduct merciless attacks in a future conflict with the United States, according to Chinese Defense Research Report. All right. Maybe I'm missing something here. But a balloon and a hypersonic missile, how are those in the same program? I don't get it.
Use the balloons as spotters to locate targets.
All right, I guess. The report, but we have satellites these days. Why would you need a balloon?
But satellites are easier to block. A low altitude balloon or even high altitude balloon is going to be a lot more difficult to interfere with. You can send signals up at a satellite. Satellites are pretty easy to find. You have other spy satellites looking for them. But a balloon, it's a little low tech.
I get you could just use Google
Plus, Joe
Earth.
Biden let one fly over the entire fucking country.
I hear you. Linking the two is where I have a question. The report by a group of researchers at the National University of Defense Technology states that the military set up a new command for both hypersonic missiles and high-altitude balloons, like the suspected surveillance balloon shot down in February off the South Carolina coast by an Air Force jet fighter after traveling much of the continental U.S. The report, Near Space Operations Command, made public during a Beijing conference on command and control in October, said the new Operation Command will direct hypersonic missiles against heavily protected targets, including communication equipment and hubs in the heartland of an adversary. Well, I mean, you could literally do it pretty much anywhere as long as you got fuel. You could do that with most missiles, bro. It's not like we have an Iron Dome here in the United States.
Which we should.
We don't have Star Wars, which is what that was supposed to be, you know, pick off missiles
Mhm.
from space.
Yep. But now everybody whined about it. That was a fucking awesome idea.
If the Chinese fired a conventional missile at us, it's gonna land. We don't have the. I mean, maybe some anti-aircraft stuff might be able to shoot it. Maybe we'll set up a Patriot defense somewhere, but we don't. We just don't have that. And
No,
all I'm getting at here is I get what that. Yeah. The hypersonic part's not the part that is scary to me. The scary part to me is that we've never made an actual missile defense system.
no, because we haven't needed to. We haven't been
No.
invaded. I mean, before 9/11, there hasn't been that many real attacks on the homeland.
We needed a missile defense system as soon as they started the V2 program.
I completely agree with you, but people aren't thinking in those terms. They're like, they would never bother to do that here. We're too awesome. That's the mentality, especially their dumbass politicians. They're arrogant and comfortable.
I get it. Yeah, the hypersonic missile, great. It gets here faster. But we're fucked either way unless we actually take some kind of defensive capability here.
Yeah.
Anyway, the same command also operates a large number of spy balloons, solar-powered unmanned aerial vehicles, and other support equipment, the report said. Hypersonic weapons can attack rocket launch sites, destroying the enemy's ability to fire anti-satellite missiles on our civilian satellite networks. The attacks must be precise, overwhelming, and merciless. This could change the pace of battles and bring a major impact to how a war would end. Yeah, and we're behind on the ultrasonic or the hypersonic thing anyway.
Oh yeah.
Reportedly, China already has it working.
Yeah, China and Russia both have ones that are supposed to be superior to the what we have, which is really primitive, apparently.
I still don't trust the Russia part of that.
I don't either, but you have to. If the propaganda is out there and they're saying they do, you shouldn't necessarily dismiss it out of hand. You should assume they are more capable than they are.
And if it wasn't the Russians we were talking about, I would give that to you. Just because we know, like with their nuke program, half of their nukes didn't even fucking work. But the Chinese, man, everybody's still so scared of the Russians. I'm not scared of the Russians. Sorry, Vlad, you don't scare me. The Chinese do.
I, for one, am scared of the Russians. I've seen what they do with plutonium. Yeah, look, I think the Russians probably are a threat, but it's more likely if they team up with someone, you know? Like, I was watching Red Dawn earlier, so.
I feel like with the Russians, if they have them, they're Chinese made anyway. It's not like it's their design. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we do know they have been working together on that program, or at least it's been reported they were working together on that program. But last we read a story about that. The Chinese had one. The Russians were, if I remember correctly, 8 months to a year off. Don't quote me on that. I know the Russians in that article hadn't quite got there, and America is like 5 to 10 years behind.
We have a birthday.
Can we give it up for our military industrial complex? Whose birthday we got?
Trips my mind takes.
Trips, it's your birthday, and this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday, dear Trips. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you have a good one. I really, really do. Bloodwing, my friend, how are you?
Hey, Bloodwing.
It says if it's made in China, it will break before it gets here.
Yeah, but all the lead will infect our waters.
No, see, the thing with the Chinese stuff works. It just doesn't work as long. It'll make it all the way here and blow up. Now, if it had to sit in storage for 6 months, maybe then we'd have an issue. Anyway, yeah, so the balloons are under the control of the People's Liberation Army, operated by the Strategic Support Force, which is also doing the the hypersonic stuff. So it's not like they're the same program. They're just operated by the same people.
Yeah, it's like the same division.
Yeah.
It's just I imagine they're using the balloons as recon, looking for updating their intel, so they can have better targets.
I see. I don't think that's it. Honestly, I think the balloon thing is testing how well low tech would work. Think about the October 7th invasion in Israel. Hamas didn't come through with, Abrams tanks and knock down that wall. They had to use a fucking bulldozer to push parts of it down. And what they did is they took out the technology and did it on motorbikes and gliders.
Yeah. Well, I was watching Red Dawn. They paratrooped right in.
So much of our modern military is based on, we have the technological advantage, which we don't even have anymore in a lot of respects.
Yeah.
And low tech could cause, look at 9/11, man. That's a very low tech event.
Yep.
Couple of planes is all it took. There were no missiles that day.
Yeah,
unless you believe
planes with box cutters.
Unless you believe the conspiracy theorists, then there were missiles. But there are no missiles, just an airplane. You can do a lot of low tech damage. And I honestly think that's what the whole thing with the balloons were. Like how long would it take to get there? What areas could we get this balloon to with just a little bit of directional stuff? Do you realize the damage they could cause with the right payload there?
Oh yeah, soft targets, and you go after like power plants.
Yeah,
you could do some serious damage.
You could cause some, and we could track it. We just decided, fuck it, we'll just let it go across the whole United States.
Oh, they tracked it across the United States. It just didn't do anything about it because they're pussy little cowards that had to wait for the polling to come through.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And even then, they weren't happy about the way the polling turned out.
Yeah. I'm not saying that Biden was paid off by the Chinese, but I'm not saying it either.
The other option is that he's just that incompetent and doesn't care about the protection of the United States. It's actually less fucked up if he was paid off.
Yeah, I agree. Sadly, but
how fucked up is that? It is better if our president is bribed than him just being that incompetent.
It's enraging either way.
Anyway, so yeah, look, man, until we catch up on the hypersonic thing, there's not really much we can do except, and even then, if we catch up, it's not like our hypersonic missile is going to knock out theirs in midair.
No,
we'll just be able to hit them fast too. I mean, fuck. Rambler says both can be true. I suppose. I mean, I suppose to take the bribe, you'd almost have to be an incompetent piece of shit anyway. So I prefer.
That's why his bagman's son do it.
I prefer to just think that Biden is evil. So don't get me wrong. He's clearly demented now, but he's always been a douchebag.
That's true. Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Something kind of interesting is that Russia is very reliant on Chinese parts. We've learned that from the war in Ukraine, and China relies on resources from Russia and the Middle East. They even rely on the U.S. for food, just stuff to take into account. Yeah. If they want food, though, they could just take over like Vietnam or Malaysia or Myanmar or the Philippines, because the waterways there those guys are using is what the Chinese want. So they aren't as reliant on us. Also, China and Russia have a very good relationship now, thanks to us. So good job, Biden.
I've been avoiding this story for a reason.
Oh, okay.
No, it's fine. We mentioned it briefly, but we had an issue with this before where a whole bunch of people got kicked out, and the way that it was being told was not exactly true.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't had a chance to actually deep dive in this one. That's the only reason I haven't brought it back up from when you first mentioned it the other day. So hopefully this fills in some blanks. But I just want to point out over on the side, I get distracted easily. You know that. It
What?
says Britney Spears confirms fan suspicions that something's going on are right. Looks are deceiving. I just want to remind people this woman is insane. And while everybody's like, the conservative ship is wrong, Britney needs to have a guardian. I'm just throwing that out there.
Needs.
I'm fairly certain that she got hit in the head or something and she's actually retarded. And I'm not being mean, I'm being honest. There's something wrong with that woman. But anyway, Army vet 94 kicked out of New York City nursing home to make room for migrants. 94-year-old U.S. Army veteran is blasting his Staten Island assisted living home for kicking him out to make room for migrants, saying it's not fair that he was sent packing. Snubber, thank you. No, I'm late, but the fact Hbomberguy goes hard on internet historian, but not Hassan fucking Piker, gets a pass is fitting. Harris has a reputation for culture war bullshit. Oh, I don't disagree. But again, what Hassan does isn't plagiarism. And there is a difference in this case. Because what Hassan does is very easy, like that's stealing. But if you see a video by somebody who has plagiarized it, you're never going to know. Because unless you accidentally see the other video that it was stolen from, it's just, oh, look how great they are at what they do. Again, I haven't seen the video, so I don't know what his evidence is against internet historian. But there is a big difference between plagiarism and Hassan stealing. They're both fucked up, but just to be fair to Hbomberguy, God, I can't say it. I believe I said that. Anyway, Frank Tamaro has given less than 2 months' notice that he and 53 other seniors would have to move out of the Island Shores residence in March and had to make other living arrangements. I felt horrible, Tamaro, a lifelong New Yorker, told Fox News. It's no joke getting thrown out of a house. Well, sure. He then moved into another facility, but after he fell, he and his daughter, Barbara, Anunzadi, his daughter, Barbara, decided it would be best for him to move in with her and her children.
I think you found why I wanted you to read this
article. Got a babysitter? There you go. It was in her care that the family discovered that Island Shores was being converted into a migrant housing and would not reopen to another assisted living facility as they were promised. I don't understand at all, Barbara said. It's not fair to anybody. These migrants, they're getting everything. They're getting everything, and I can't get nothing for Tamaro. She said, adding that she's been having trouble getting insurance to pay for a home health aid. Meanwhile, migrants get everything, and he's not entitled to anything. All right, I don't mean to play, but what is he entitled to?
Well, if they're giving it to her legal, I'd say he's entitled to that.
Look. I'm not standing up for the illegals at all. Kick them the fuck out. I don't give a shit. I used to even be one of those Jack, like, it's not even really the kids' fault. No, fuck them all. Get them out. Don't care.
Yeah, I'm glad you're coming around. It's my slightly more apathetically evil take on this because I'm so sick of this shit, man.
No,
these fucking freeloaders.
I not to take any credit away from you, but that's not even what did it. It was knowing what was going to happen with DACA and seeing it actually happen. Because when DACA's announced, they're like, you have to have come between this time and this time. And they've just slowly added and added and added.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, as long as you got here illegally, fuck it, you can stay. And fuck that shit.
Yeah, they do not give a fuck about Americans. It's all about giving these people free stuff and eventual citizenship. That even Mayorkas said it. That's the path he's taking.
Snub, thank you. Pretty much historian used an article as a script. It wasn't exactly word for word, but damn close and in the exact format. Still, he did all the animation and jokes, not dead airstream movies. Again, I'm not defending Hassan here. It's just they are different things. And if he used an article without telling people that's where he was getting it, this is an article I'm reading. Yeah, I'd consider that plagiarism. Just saying. Look, we're showing you we're reading an article here. We're not trying to pretend we went out and did this research ourselves, Jack.
Oh God, no, we're lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, motivationally impaired.
At first he said residents were told senior center would reopen under new management. In a statement to Fox, Homes for Homelessness, the new owners of the building said it intended to sell Island Shores. I need my fucking glasses. Where the hell? I moved everything around to do my computer stuff, and I have no idea where I put my glasses.
I'm sorry, it's awful that I'm laughing at that.
No, it's fine. All right. It intended to sell the thing to focus on its core mission of serving homeless families, and said that the preferred buyer would be another senior operator. Instead, Homes for Homeless made an agreement in August with City Hall to move migrants into the facility, which is now known as the Midland Beach Migrant Center. So it's still owned by the same people? They didn't even sell it?
Yeah, it sounds like they just changed the name.
We didn't have a chance to actually make any attempt to stop them because there wasn't enough time, he said in September at a news conference, as 15 asylum-seeking families moved into the building. Still, Tamaro, who worked in the U.S. Army Signal Corps, a branch of the Army that manages information systems and served stateside during the Korean War, said he tried to fight back. I said, no, you're not moving me. They replied, yes, we are. I was satisfied where I was until they threw me out, but making the best of a bad situation, that's what we're doing. He said he mostly feels bad for the other former residents of the Island Shores, which included 7 other veterans. Well, okay, look, I realize that throwing the veteran thing in there makes it. This wouldn't be okay if it was just hippies, okay?
Yeah,
and I don't think of them as people.
No, but we tend to have a very Roman look at veterans where they're pedestalized and treated like centurions. And I think that's done up a little too much because people hide behind that as an excuse. But it's wrong to kick people out of their housing.
This finishes by telling us Homes for the Homeless declined comment.
No.
Really?
I'm shocked.
I don't understand why you would need to throw them out for new management to take over. You know what I mean?
It's easier, probably.
Is it?
It's probably got something to do with the name change. They're probably trying to at least create the appearance of a new system.
I guess. It just doesn't make sense because you're just going to have to refill those places anyway. So if they're already filled and you're just taking it over, why would you need to clean it?
You don't want anyone that's got any resentment because you threw out the old people that were living there.
No. I'm talking about the old people who got thrown out because they were thrown out supposedly for this sale.
Yeah.
And with this sale, they were going to reopen. I don't understand why you'd have to throw them out for the sale.
They get more money per migrant that they put in. So you got to get rid of them old people that are taking up space.
I guess.
You're going to get more government paychecks that way. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Cryptic. All legal aliens need to be deported to a volcano. All 10 plus million since Weekend at Bernie's in the last 30 years. Fuck them all. Preach, brother. I'm with you.
Fayla says they get to raise rates on new tenants. I mean, you can raise the rates anyway. Unless this is part of New York's rent control bullshit.
Yeah, it might be part of that, or they have contracts because a lot of times nursing homes, you pay a set amount to go in there.
Yeah.
And you never have to pay again. Or you only pay that much per year.
Yeah, so, I mean, I just don't understand why they would even do it that way before you ever even get to the migrants in there. Because according to this, I mean, it sounds like he was thrown out while the plan was actually still to just sell it.
Well, I think they never actually planned to sell it. That's just what they said to get rid of the old people. And this whole time, it was just to get a sweet government contract for the illegals.
When does it tell us that they were thrown out?
They were given 2 months, and that was a while back.
Did it actually tell us when, though? That's what I was looking for.
Oh, I don't remember.
In March, they had to make other arrangements. When did they move the migrants in?
Probably the day the others left. All right, they're going out the front, bringing the illegals in the back.
Oh, yeah, they don't make the agreement until August. All right. Yeah, there's something else going on in that story. I don't know what it is. There's something else with that company that before you even look at the migrants, that there was something fishy going on with that shit. And my guess would be probably like the rent controlled shit.
Yeah.
Or like you said, the current contracts they had with, say, insurers or whoever's paying the bills for this shit. And they're like, we're going to sell it. And they were like, oh, no, the sale fell through. You guys can come back, but it's going to cost you some money. And instead, they're like, wait, we don't even have to deal with tenants. You guys are just going to give us a whole bunch in a government contract? Fuck yeah. Anyway, homeless veteran, thank you. Be right back. Gonna go join an invasion caravan from Mexico so I can get housing. You right. And you'll get some.
Yeah, you'll get all kinds of free shit. Just change your name. You're now Miguel.
Cryptic Production, thank you so much. I have relatives cross the southern border illegally and paying coyotes. If I see their ass anywhere near me, I will call INS. Fuck illegals. Yeah. It's ICE now, not INS, just so you know. Make sure you call the right people.
Yeah. You need immigration and customs enforcement.
Yeah, it's no longer immigration and naturalization
services.
Services, thank you. All I could think of was security, and I knew that was wrong.
Yeah. Real quick, thank you, Dixie Rose, for that patriotic donation, 1776. I live in a retirement facility and my rent is $2,900 monthly. I doubt that the migrants are paying that much. Oh, the migrants aren't paying a penny. This is all government money. The government is paying to house these people.
Yeah. And they are paying well from what we've heard.
Yeah. The state of New York is paying an assload. I think it's $400 billion a year for the care and housing of these people. It was in one of the articles we read. And the federal government's kicking in a bunch of money too, but because New York's a sanctuary state, that's why they have to pay for housing. There's a right to housing or some stupid thing like that in New York.
Yep, it's a right to housing thing.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they're not doing this for the homeless people there. They're doing it for the illegals. And this is why I wanted to concentrate on the timing and all that, Jack, because it's another one of those situations with like Biden and China where it's another one of those situations where if I'm right, the truth is even more fucked up because they just kind of fell into the immigrant thing when they were planning on fucking these people over anyway.
Yeah. It's gross.
Yeah, from the look of it, they didn't do it so they could fuck over the veterans to get the migrants in there. It looked like they fucked over the veterans just to fuck over the veteran.
Yeah. But thank you, Dixie Rose, and I'm sorry that your rent is so high because that's ridiculous.
That is asinine. Fuck.
I don't even make half that in a month.
Snubber, thank you. Reminds me, you said in the past they need to commit fraud to live here. I was told states can sidestep that. Know anything about that? Are you talking about when I said they have to commit fraud, they have to steal identities so that they can be able to work and pay their income taxes? Are you talking about that because you have to have either a work permit number or the your actual social security number? There are ways around it, yes. And certain states have started doing this. There was a story yesterday, the day before, about this this company that just lost a suit to the government. The government sued them for, actually they it's a trucking company, Jack, and they settled with the government for $700,000 because they were insisting that their employees who aren't American show their green cards. And well, here, and they were doing it so that they could say, hey, you're proving that you're eligible to work here. And the government's like, no, you can't do that, because what the law says is as long as they show a legal ID. Well, in the state of California, for instance, they give illegals driver's licenses. That's a legal ID. And so, yes, on the federal level, no. State level, yes. Anyway, Cryptic, thank you. Also, Bloodwing is a geezer. Hey, you old fart. Bloodwing, did you see my Chargers today? In a barn burner, Jack, my Chargers won 6-0. People watched a 3-hour football game to see 2 field goals in an era where a team scored 70 points earlier this year. Not my team, but a team. How you finish a game 6-0 in the modern football era is fucking mind-blowing. It's not like this was some great defensive stand either. I feel like anybody who watched that game deserves their money back, even if they didn't pay for it. Did you see the Wild Colts game? No. The only reason I know about the Chargers game is because my son texted me. He's like, did you see what happened in the Chargers game? Like, oh, God, no, what? And so then I went and watched the highlights from that one. I'll watch all the NFL highlights later tonight. But, yeah, fucking 6-0. At least they won, I guess.
That's something.
In the modern football era, 6-0 is a soccer score. It's 2 field goals. And if you're watching on TV at home, that is a 3-hour investment. Fuck. Anyway, Jack, let's get to the story I wanted to talk about here. New York Times, my friend, the New York Times. They had it's an opinion piece today. It's about the trans kids, Jack.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Opinion by Lydia Palgreen. There is no way to live a life without regret.
What?
Now, if you look up Lydia, androgynous would be a very nice way to describe it. It's going to shock you to find out that Lydia here is an androgynous lesbian.
What?
I know, right? It's
oh.
Fuck.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure.
I just want you to listen to the way this shit starts out. When I was in 6th grade, I made a decision that changed the course of my life.
Oh,
I decided not to try out for the middle school swim team. I know that might not.
Decided not to?
Yes.
Oh, that's fucking dumb. Okay.
I know that might not sound like a big deal, but it was.
No, it's not.
As a grade schooler, I was a standout swimmer. Strong shoulders and back and well-muscled legs that powered me. Who are you, Joe Biden?
Yeah, that's creepy as fuck. Why is she talking like that?
Well-muscled young legs.
That powered me. Young legs. Oh, Jesus. That's creepy, man. Who talks like that?
That powered me through the water with ease and speed. I was disciplined, obsessive. My form was excellent. My coach saw potential.
Yeah, I bet he did creepily. God, is this like going to end in like a creepy scenario where somebody got touched in their no-no square?
I would probably guess they got touched in their no-no square, but they don't say it.
Ugh.
Had I stuck with it, my life might have turned out pretty different. Do you see where we're headed?
I don't want to, but yeah.
I might have been a popular jock rather than a lonely weirdo. Yeah, I know in my school, it was the swimmers who were the popular jocks.
We didn't even have swimmers.
Neither did we.
We didn't have a pool.
How, how nice must it have been to grow up in an area where there was a swim team in your middle school?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Privilege what?
The schools I went to, Jack, you'd have to travel miles to find a pool.
Yeah, I think I mean,
Oh,
there was like a city pool, but that's where the fat kids peed.
thank you. This is Kyle for that feminist $12. There's a major difference between regretting that you wore skinny jeans in high school and regretting that you cut off your boobs. I'm so sick of these dishonest people. Have to Jack. Thank you so very much for that.
Yeah, thank you.
That is what. Okay, let me just get to why I want to talk about this article, Jack.
You are mad at me?
No, well, it has not. I would never do. If I was going to be mad at you and do something, I would like. Let me see. Who would I make you watch? Tim Pool. I would make us watch a long Tim Pool video.
All right. Yeah, it sounds accurate.
Or a long Destiny video, because I know you don't really like him either.
Yeah, that's true.
Real quick,
there's a Destiny Tim Pool video out there. I'm gonna cry.
Androgynous lesbian Biden, thank you so much. He says, I got hair on my legs. It turns blonde in the sun. Don't forget to talk about how it raises up in the water and little black kids touch it. Anyway, no, I wanted to this one specifically for a couple of reasons. One, I've mentioned many times how bad liberals are at analogies, how bad they are at fucking analogies. And in this case, she's going to be talking about the transification of children, and she's literally comparing that to her not joining the fucking swim team.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
But she also does a lot of other press tricks that they really like to do where they, bring up a couple of statistics without pointing out, other statistics. And not even real statistics in this case, because I'm not sure we're going to read this whole thing, Jack, because it's fucking long. But just a preview, she talks about how many kids are on hormone treatments, right? Nobody knows because that's all HIPAA protected shit.
Yeah, it's all secret.
So there, I forget who it was. Somebody went through and looked at insurance companies that pay for this stuff. And they found out that only like 4,000 kids are on. Bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not buying that for a fucking second.
And then they're like, look, it doesn't actually count the people who pay for it privately, which would be most, because a lot of companies are not paying for this shit because it's not medically necessary. So to sit there and go by the insurance companies that have had claims for it is a meaningless fucking measure. Because most don't. You can need actual medical treatment and they could be like, nah, that's not actually medically needed. Yeah. They do it to people all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's happened to people I know. Real quick. Thank you, Travis Gardner. My middle school had an indoor pool, got suspended for dumping 10 pounds of dry ice in it.
Whoopsie. I bet that was cool as shit, though.
Oh, yeah. That was probably pretty awesome.
Probably dangerous. Can you put dry ice in chlorinated water? Isn't that like mustard gas or something?
Yeah, I think that would probably make some poisonous fumes, but I'm not a chemist.
Yeah, I just thought of it. I mean, it would look cool, but you want to watch it from outside, from a distance. Anyway, let's get back to our retard friend here. Where are we? I might have become a varsity athlete who won admission to a top college rather than a barely graduated teenager who had to take remedial math at a community college, to scrape my way into a not very competitive not competitive school. So you're an idiot. Okay.
Hey, as somebody that took remedial math in college because I'm terrible at math, I understand that, but it was mostly laziness on my part.
Wait, how is being a better swimmer going to make you better at math?
See, you're doing lots of calculations in your head when you're moving your arms around. You're like doing foil and like trigonometry and shit. I don't know. It's fucking dumb. That doesn't even mesh. Those things aren't related.
I've been thinking about this decision a lot lately because many of us have been forced, regardless of whether we want to think about the children and the decisions we allow them to make and what it might mean for them to regret those decisions. See, cutting off your titties when you're 12 is exactly the same as, deciding not to go on the swim team at your clearly privileged high school. And junior high, even. It's not even the high school that had a pool. They had a swim team for the fucking junior high.
Seriously, that I would have liked that in school, but
I love to swim, dude.
I'm terrible at swimming, but it would have been. I probably would have been more into it then. But fucking hey, man,
We had to go swimming at the YMCA. That's a real thing. In Norfolk, we went to the YMCA to swim. It was the only pool around. Anyway, by the way, I almost died there.
Oh, well.
I wasn't a very good swimmer yet, and I decided to go to dive into the deep end, and I couldn't push off the bottom, and I realized, oh, fuck, I'm not strong enough for this, and I actually had to be saved by the lifeguard.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was told under no uncertain circumstances that I was not allowed to ever jump off that diving board again.
Oh yeah, I got shoved off a diving board once.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't very pleasant. But no, see, what you should have been doing is making math calculations while you were in there,
yeah.
and then you would have been better at math, Monkey.
I would have been. Actually, I was good at math. It was my swimming that wasn't my strong point at that time.
Swimming builds math skills. That's what we just learned.
I'm speaking, of course, about the ongoing war over transgender and gender non-conforming children. The war, Jack.
What? The war. Yeah, they're out there in the trenches shooting up testosterone, trying to avoid mortar shells from the turfs. That makes total sense to me. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Darth Mando. Did you tell Monkey how Nightcrawler is now a butt baby who was born by lesbians like a football being hiked? I think I sent him the image.
If you did, I didn't see it. We'll have to check it out.
It's tragically frustrating as a comic fan.
Now, wait for this part, Jack. So she just told us this is about the children, right?
It's always about the children, isn't it?
The war about transgender and non-conforming children. It's literally the last word she said. And then she says this. For people on the right who oppose gender transition at any age.
What?
Okay. Yes, there are people like that, like Matt Walsh and who's that really? Michael Knowles. That milquetoast motherfucker over there.
That's all of them.
Yeah, fair. No, Clavin's not milquetoast.
Is he even still over there?
Last I knew, he was.
I don't see him much. I like Clavin. He's funny.
Clavin's great, yeah. But let's say that they have those people. That's fine, but that's not what we're even talking about by her own statement there. But suddenly, instead of just concentrating on what they're talking about with children, those who don't want it at any age. Anyway, Clavin's show is on at night. Oh, there you go. So anyway,
okay. Yeah, that's probably why I miss it.
For people on the right who oppose gender transition at any age, the argument is simple. There are two genders, and people who think they are a different sex or gender than the one they were assigned at birth are delusional. Indulging that delusion is wrong. Biological reality requires all people to simply live with the gender associated with their birth sex. Nobody has said that. Unless they are intersex. I forgot about this part. This part's about to piss me off. Unless they are intersex, in which case it is evidently okay for parents and doctors to decide and surgically alter a child's body to conform with that decision without the child's consent or even knowledge. Yeah, it's done when they're infants, fucker. We'll come back to that. Oh, that shit. They always do this. But what about intersex? One, what you're actually talking about is our, I forgot the word. The people with penises and vaginas.
Hermaphrodites.
Hermaphrodites, thank you. A word they have decided is a slur.
It's a medical term. Like
Real quick,
moron.
KS1, thank you so much. I've been swimming all my life, diving because swimming is boring. I don't get people who can't swim. Even dated two of them. I just don't get it. Was on a sinking boat when I was 7. Swam like half a mile to shore through the diesel. Swimming's easy. It's not easy for most people. Swimming is not natural for humans. It's really not. We have to learn to swim. Johnny Hellcat, thank you. When I'm at work and read assigned at birth, I die a little inside. I die a little inside when I hear it anyway.
Yeah,
it is the one time you can actually say assigned at birth is with hermaphrodites.
Yeah.
Because they allow the parent to choose, are you going to raise them as a boy or a girl? Because it is the one time there is an actual, yep, this is one way or the other. And they perform surgeries on the babies to try to make it look as normal as possible. But here's the thing about that. It is such a small microcosm of the human experience. The number of hermaphrodites out there probably couldn't fill my bathroom.
Yeah, there's an incredibly tiny number of them.
Yeah. They go to this intersex thing because if you take all of what's considered intersex, it pumps it up to like 0.00005% of the population instead of 0.000000001. Now I see these poor people. Okay, if you want to talk about hermaphrodites, fine, we can talk about hermaphrodites. Stop conflating them with trans people. Trans people aren't hermaphroditic. They're delusional.
Hate fact. Real quick, thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. Who, regarding the article, I assume says intellectual consistency. Who?
Right.
Also, it's a good time to remind everybody to hit the like button, share it on your social media, subscribe if you haven't, because we're not even halfway on the thumbs up yet, and we really need to get that up because Monkey is an ego that needs to be satiated. And
you gotta stop lying to people.
What?
So you gotta stop lying to people. Everybody knows my ego can't be touched. You got to pick something else.
Oh, well, I'm trying to get the numbers up. Hit the thumbs up, or baby Jesus will cry.
Tell them it's your ego, but mine can't be dented.
I don't pay that close of attention, honestly. I just like seeing the number 100 or higher because it makes me feel like we're winning something.
Oh, gotcha. See, it is for your ego.
Not really.
So I never see the likes. I don't have the screen open that shows likes, so I have no idea.
Oh, I have the stream on because I refuse to pop the chat out in another tab because I'm lazy.
Thank you, Understatement. I'm so tired of the war talk when it comes to speeches and debates. You're not being accosted by a gang of young. Sorry, you're not being accosted by a gang of young footpads. You're just talking Jesus. Oh no. Words are violence, man.
Yeah, those words hurt.
Words are violence. Misgendering is a war crime.
It's an attack.
It's an attack. It's a violent attack.
It's a violent attack on your fifis, and it gives your soul a paper cut.
For the record, Understatement, I am with you, but I'm just explaining their side of things. This is how they think.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it's a little more like, but you're not allowed to do that anymore, I don't think.
For those liberal and progressives who fret about the rapidly changing gender landscape, the agonized argument over gender-affirming care for children is different. As this thinking goes, there's a small category of people who were born in the wrong bodies. How does that happen? How?
They don't believe in souls for the most part, so how are you born in the wrong body?
And those individuals are entitled to express their identities. But when children say they are one of these people, we must be extremely careful and rigorous in being absolutely certain that their gender identities have been unearthed and verified through a lengthy medical and psychiatric inquiry before they are validated by social, legal, and medical interventions. Jesus, fuck, that's a long sentence. Okay, I want to know who on the left is saying this because nobody on the left is saying this anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that in a while. This is a recent article, right?
Yeah, this came out today.
Oh,
This is them trying to make it sound like the liberals fret over it. Bullshit. They want to pass this shit out like Pez. Anyway, where are we? We must be sure that this is the pure expression of the immutable self, not simply an adaptation or adoption of a fad or the byproduct of autism or bipolar disorder.
oh my God! Got to work all the mental illnesses in there.
The possibility that children might make irreversible decisions on this particular question that they later regret is, for many people, simply intolerable. Transition, to borrow a phrase, should be safe, legal, and rare.
Oh, shit.
And remember, what she just said.
Oh, you're ducking out. Could you start over?
What she's saying there is that that's the liberal argument. They're the ones who are saying it needs to be safe, legal, and rare, which is just not true. That is not what any of them are saying these days. And Dark Resurrect, thank you for that feminist $12. Dress it up as much as you want, freaks. You want to experiment on and sexualize kids. True.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, the more I hear about people wanting to, whenever somebody says, and I know this is probably awful, every time somebody says to me that, oh, trans kids exist, I'm thinking you're a pedophile, because that's why are you trying to get children who are not sexual beings to be sexual beings?
So they can touch them.
Yeah,
I don't.
It's the only thing
Look,
I could think of.
It depends on which group you're talking about, because there's several groups who push this shit. Like the doctors, they want it for the money. Let's be honest. It's money. It's a lifelong stream of income. The politicians who are doing it, they want votes. The soccer moms out there, they just don't want anybody to feel bad. And then you have the evil ones out there who want to touch kids. So
I suspect there might be some crossover in those departments.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's none. Snubber, thank you. They're saying a lot of people with autism are transitioning. Biological females are the highest transitioning, and trans men get less support than trans women. That is changing. You're not wrong, but it is changing. They don't get as much attention because some chick with a man haircut and no boobies, we just used to call them lesbians.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't make them a new gender or anything. They're just lesbians. You like to munch carpet. Don't make it weird.
And a lot of the trans people that we see, the trans advocates, I mean, they're not Buck Angel. They're Dylan Mulvaney. They're fucking caricatures.
Yeah.
And those are the ones who get all the attention. And anyway, we allow children to make irreversible decisions about their lives all the time, ideally with the guidance and support of communities. Hang on one second. People got lots to say about this one. And I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, guys, but I do duck out when the donation comes through, so I got to stop for a second. KS1, thank you. Sometimes I want to take a false identity and see if I could make money out crazying the crazy. The reason the right hates trans athletes isn't about protecting women. It's about dividing women so they can keep us from being able to compete with men. You would be shocked what you could get away with lying to people, just telling them what they want to hear.
Yeah, there's a whole industry around it these days.
Do you remember last night we had somebody in the audience who was talking about how I was bashing Trump and told me, just get over it. Trump's going to win. Literally less than 12 hours later, I was accused of being a Trump supporter on Twitter.
Well, you got accused of being a Trump supporter, a DeSantis supporter, and a Biden supporter all in like 3 hours the other day. So
it's so weird to see the kind of bullshit you could. I could so easily, Jack, just pick a lane and be like, I'm full on Trump, and we'd get a lot of support for it. We really would.
Yeah, I mean, but having a nuanced opinion ends up costing you more often than not.
And I would rather have principles than money, I guess. And maybe that's not the smartest way to be, But it really is. You can go out there. Look at that chick. Oh, what the fuck's his name? Um, I can see it. The blonde dude who always says horrible shit. They've trans. Don't get they even got their wiener cut off and got scooped out and everything.
Oh God.
But that person, when they first pop up, the reason that they got a big audience was because they played into conservatives who wanted a trans person who was shitting on trans people. And then after they got a big audience, switch that shit up.
Wow.
Yeah. It's an easy grift. If you are of some kind of minority status, you can easily sell bullshit to the right. Because, like it or not, there's a lot of people on the right who are just looking for their own validation of their feelings, their own validation of their thoughts. And hey, if a black guy says this, then obviously it's right. See, the black guy said it. There's just as much tokenism on the right as there is on the left. If you want to make it big on the left, go out there and just go full Dylan Mulvaney. Just, I am the girliest girl of all girls ever girled. And they will eat that shit up. Nom, 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 nom.
You don't even have to really try from what we've seen. You don't have to shave. Just have to say you're a woman.
Pyra real quick, Pyra says Monkey's not talking about Blair right? No, not Blair. Even when Blair stepped away from politics, I never got the idea that she was like trying to switch sides or that she had secretly been liberal the whole time. What the fuck is that idiot's name? She'll come up again, and when she does, I'll be like, hey, this is that idiot I was talking about the other day. Anyway.
No, there's also, you could go full commie. That's a good grift these days.
Commie's a lot harder to do just because there's so many of them now. It's kind of a saturated market.
Yeah, you just got to come up with a twist, though. Your own unique thing.
You'd have to go like ridiculously far and like actually live in a commune or suggest that you did, you know?
Yeah, I mean, well, you've got like Queers for Palestine. I'm sure you could come up with some combination of intersectionality there, like disabled communism or something that fits a big enough niche that you can make a career off of that.
Yeah. And my only point here is not that, hey, you shouldn't celebrate a black Republican or anything like that. It's just you should do it for the values, not the color of their skin or the transness or any of that shit. You should support the values regardless of who's saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people like Tim Scott, he just happens to be black. He's pretty diehard Republican.
Yeah. I don't give a shit what color he is. I care that he's conservative.
Yeah.
I care that he's like, we're spending too much money. Anyway, trans black commie, too late. We already had Ghazi. Anyway, that's not nice. I shouldn't call him trans black. We allow children to make irreversible decisions about their lives all the time, ideally with the guidance and support of their communities that care for them. Sometimes they regret those decisions. All right. Seriously, we're talking about mutilating their bodies. Not in the, hey, I got a tattoo and I'm permanently scarred kind of way. Like cutting off their genitals, you fucking retard.
Yeah, wow. Jeffrey Marsh, is that who you're talking about?
No, Jeffrey Marsh. No. This is a passing person. I won't remember it until I see it or somebody actually hits the right one. So believe me, people like that, I know those names like Dylan. No. Fuck. What? Gonna make me actually look for this idiot. We'll look at it. This is a long story and I want to get back to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fuck. I really wish I could remember the name. I've talked about her many times on here because she got very mad one time because people were calling her vagina a rot pocket.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was pissed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's not a very nice thing to say. But
but it is a hilarious term.
She was out there bragging about how she could take away any cis woman's man. And so people were like, nobody wants your rot pocket. Kelly, yes, Kelly. Oh, fuck. Thank you, Hate Camel. Shit, Kelly Cardigan. Kelly Cardigan. There we go.
I don't think I've ever heard that name before.
You have. You just didn't pay attention because it's one of those names that I say because we read a tweet from it, and then I read so many tweets from people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just, I forget so many names because we cover so many people.
Yeah, and that's a fair thing. I mean, I know there's times you've been, you know this, like, no, I don't. And it's clearly something we've talked about.
Yeah, but you tend to forget things and then you block others out because they're so fucking irritating.
The only reason I paid any attention to Kelly is because of that switch. And I'm like, that is brilliant marketing. It was absolutely brilliant. You suckered in a whole bunch. You basically stole Blair White's routine. And then once you had a large audience, you switched over to the other side. So now you get all the victim points. It was brilliant. It really was.
Yeah. For a second, I forgot you said trans, and I was thinking of Tana Montague.
Oh, no, not that nasty bitch.
And I was like,
anyway,
that was a dude? No, wait, that's somebody else.
No. Anyway, where are we here? So what we are saying, really, when we worry that a child will regret this particular decision, the decision to transition, and how is it different, really, from the decision I made to quit competitive swimming?
What?
Yep. How is it different to take hormone blockers or puberty blockers and hormones, which literally can destroy your bones?
Wait, so getting out of the pool won't sterilize you, will it?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Won't give you osteoporosis?
No.
Or brittle bones of any kind?
Not that I'm aware of.
Won't make you like a perpetual child in your nethers?
See, this is what I was getting at when I said bad analogies.
This isn't a bad analogy. This is a horrifically stupid analogy. Like, I'd be embarrassed to make an analogy like this. This is wow.
Now, listen to this part. To many people, I am guessing most, this question is absurd. Because it is. They even recognize most people will look at her comparing trans children to her not swimming as fucking absurd.
Yeah, this is I mean, at least there's a hint of self-awareness, but it's not enough of a hint of self-awareness.
How could you possibly compare something as fundamental and consequential to one's life as gender to something that seems comparatively trivial, competitive sports? Yeah, that should have been the end of your thought right there, because you went, yeah, that's fucking retarded, and stopped writing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most Americans believe there's a clear and absolute binary between genders. In May, the last time Gallup polled on the issue, 55% of Americans said they believe changing one's gender is morally wrong. Stop. What does it have to do with your first sentence? Do they not teach how to write anymore? Your opening line of your paragraph gets supported by the other lines in your paragraph. That's how you write it.
No, monkey. A thesis is colonialism.
This person went from people believe that there's a clear binary to people believing it's morally wrong. Those are two different things. You can believe it's fine to transition and still believe in a moral or in a binary. One.
Is that him or me? Bro, what the fuck? What did I come back
because
to?
The
JB,
binary is real. Fuck.
Oh, there he goes again. Had him for a second. JB, you came back to Crazy Town. This lady quit swimming when she was in middle school, and that relates to transgenderism somehow. Monk, are you back? Nope, he's doing something, I bet. He's doing something fun without us. Yeah, they really don't like him going on Rand's failure. Not wrong. Boomer Hawk down. Hunter Avalone. Lindsay, that's a good one. No, he's just a regular lesbian. I'm so lonely. Oh, I'm alone. So lonely. I'm the loneliest stick man around. So what's up, chat? He said he was going to have problems with his internet, so this is not to be unexpected. We're not on the Starlink, so F for monkey's internet, right? Playing 7 Days to Die while listening to... Oh, cool. Perpetual child in your nethers. I think I remember that from Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, the 100-acre woods means something totally different in the land of euphemisms. Yeah, exciting. This article's enraging. What's up, buddy?
For fuck's sake, man, my internet just died completely. I had to switch.
Well, I figured that's what happened.
God damn it. I knew I shouldn't stream today. You can hear my voice. I'm having a rough day otherwise.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You need to do this. It's like exercise for your brain. It's not like swimming that improves your math skills.
Right. And it's just like gender transition.
Yeah, because you transition from one end of the pool to the other, right? That I don't get this analogy at all.
Sorry about that, guys. I apologize for dying like that. Fuck.
By the way, several people suggested that the blonde you were thinking of was Hunter Avalone.
Is he a blonde?
No, he's not trans either, but it's funny.
All right. I'm not sure where I cut out because I was on the article and I couldn't see the thing.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll go back to where I know at least we last were talking. It's not hard to understand why when she's talking about the morally wrong. Man and women make a dyad as old as time, written in our chromosomes, our religious texts, our myths, and our legends. Did you see what they did right there? All right. Why, Jack, is man and woman the dyad as old as time?
Because we're a sexually dimorphic species.
And without it, we don't exist.
Yeah. Oh, God, this is so fucking irritating.
Now, on top of that, we have her saying it's written in our chromosomes. That's science. And then she switches to our religious texts and our myths.
Is science a religion or a myth now? I mean, there is scientism, but that make seriously, the research level on here is like 8th grade.
It makes no sense to bring that part up because that has nothing to do with whether or not we are a dimorphic species.
No, they just want to shit on religious people. Oh,
if there was religious text that said there were 16 genders, it'd be wrong no matter if it was a religious text or not.
Yeah, that religion probably won't be around very long.
Yeah.
Real quick, thank you, Evolved Potato. They can always start swimming again, but you can't reattach the dick or tits that were cut off by the butchers masquerading as a doctor.
No.
Yeah. Look, your facts have no place in this weird analogy thing that's going on here. But thank you, Evolved.
Well, they're trying to make the case that any decision children make can affect their life, which is true. There are things, Jack, that I was a pretty decent athlete, and my life would probably be very different if instead of fucking off my whole life, I decided to actually play organized sports. I'm not saying I could have got to college on it, but I'd have done okay in high school. I could have scored 4 touchdowns in one game. That's all I'm saying.
Nice.
So there's thank you. There's a lot of things that children make decisions. We make decisions even as adults where it's going to affect the rest of our lives.
Yep.
But there's a difference between I could have tried out for the football team and I cut off my wiener. I took medicine that literally kept me prepubescent into my late teens.
Yeah.
Thank you, JB. Obligatory wood chipper goes. Yeah. Where are we? Many major identity categories like race, gender, ethnicity seem absolute and immovable.
Immovable or immutable?
Immovable.
That's not the correct word there.
I didn't write it.
This is the New York Times?
Yes.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
But dig a little deeper and quickly you realize how malleable and mutable they are. I'm sorry, race is malleable? Now, she's going to tell I'm done reading this. I'll throw it in the chat if you guys want to read the rest of this shit. I'll just tell you what she tells us next, Jack. She goes on to tell us that her mom is from Kenya and her dad is from Minnesota, I think. And when she was 10, they moved back to the United States, and she's playing on the playground one day, and a little boy calls her a racial slur.
Oh, no. A real one, or is this some made-up nonsense?
An actual racial slur. I'm willing to believe her story. She says that a boy called her a racial slur, and the teachers were like, how dare you do that to her? And she was like, I don't get it, because she's from Kenya, not America.
Yeah.
So to her, being called the N-word didn't mean shit, because that's not a word. Am I thinking of, yeah. Where she's from, it's not a word that was used in a derogatory term. So she's like, I don't get it.
She probably didn't even know the term.
And she's using that story to suggest that race is malleable.
What?
Yeah. Real quick, Tyrai, thank you. We interrupt this program with a donation to Save the Ram Monkey Fund, where Monkey gets most of the proceeds. Unlike other charities, we all know Monkey gets this. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Snubbers. What's worse is they use social transitioning to flip-flop and gaslight the issue of medical transition, combining and separating arguments to win. Well, she goes even worse in this, where she does some like really stupid shit. Like, Jack, I told you she brings up the insurance thing, right?
Uh-huh.
It's only 4,000 kids. You know what she doesn't address? The 20% of high school students who say that they are non-binary or trans. It's not a trend or anything. No. See, it's a very small group of people. It's just 4,000. 20% in the surveys that have been done. 20%. That's not a minor amount. It's 1 in 5. That is a lot of fucking kids out there who think that they now aren't really fucking human because they believe they're something they literally cannot be.
Like a kitty cat.
Kitty cat would make more sense. There is no third gender. There are kitty cats. I'm just saying.
That's true.
And that's what pisses me off when they go to the intersection or the intersex thing every time. You're talking about a deformity. It is literally like saying if somebody's born without a foot, they're a different kind of human because, they didn't have a foot.
Well, Hitler would have agreed with you.
A friend of mine has a daughter who was born without a foot and without a hand. She's still human. She's not a new species. She just had deformities when she was born. And they're like, oh, see, intersex proves that its gender is fluid. No, it doesn't. It proves deformities exist.
No, this is a type of eugenics with a twist.
Yes, it really is.
They used to classify, under eugenics, if you had a deformity, you were considered like subhuman. So this is kind of that in a weird, really fucked up, like mad funhouse kind of way, funhouse mirror.
Where are we? I wanted to read just the end of this. We all know what awaits us with age, and yet it is all but impossible for any of us to fathom the transition ourselves will undergo over time. Each of those transitions is kind of a little death, the end of one way of being and the birth of another. So it's no surprise that the more unexpected the transition, the more deeply unsettling it is. We're all hurtling inevitably towards the last transition across the one true binary, the one between life and death. And that binary is the true source of our regrets and our joys too. Regret exists because we all get just one life. So there it is, Jack. We're all going to die, so you don't have to worry about mutilating children.
No, that's not how that works. Real quick. Thank you, Tyrai. Back to sleep. We'll listen to this madness in 4 hours. Oh, thank you, Tyrai, and have a good sleep. Did you get Tyrai's Streamlabs to you?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, just make sure.
That was the interruption for my RAM fund.
Oh, yeah.
This is just such nonsense. And it's just an attempt to excuse away the inexcusable. You're experimenting on children. If adults want to do it, I'm not with the Matt Walshes of the world. If you want to go pay a doctor, you're a grown-ass person, you want to go pay a doctor to chop off your wiener, I don't think you should do it. I think you probably should be in a psychiatric ward. But you're a grown-ass adult. Fuck it. We let Britney Spears make her own decisions.
She still hasn't slept with me, so let's not go getting her a conservator just yet.
But when you're talking about children and permanently altering their bodies in ways that cannot be undone, despite she actually disputes the whole sterilization thing.
Oh, so she's denying science? Like well-established science?
Wait. She actually says this. She says, there are many people who transition who go on to have children. Yeah, not the kids who were put on hormones and puberty blockers.
I don't think anybody with one of those arm wieners has fathered a child.
If you're a woman and you transition to a man medically and you have them, scoop you all out, you know what they tell you? Save your eggs.
Yeah.
So that another woman can be implanted with them. When it comes to, see, it's a deceptive thing to do to talk about the fertility thing, because if you're just on hormones, will it fuck up your reproduction? It can. Is it definitely going to? No. You know what will? Being put on a drug that we give to sterilize sex offenders.
Mm-hmm.
To chemically castrate them. I know there's no problem with that. No. To chemically castrate you and destroy your bones. Nothing could go wrong. Don't worry, it's all reversible, Jack.
Oh yeah. It's not.
Yeah, they don't mention the fact that this has not been tested on children for that long for them to be able to go, yes, it's all reversible. If you're an adult and you're already formed, say you're like that weightlifter who just took some estrogen to grow some titties so she can do weightlifting and set all these records.
Uh-huh.
You could always go get those fake titties cut off. Sure.
Yeah.
You stop taking it. Maybe your voice has changed a little bit, but for the most part, you can go back to being a dude. Sure. Not when you fucked with the time frame when your body is doing what it is supposed to develop you into who you were supposed to be.
Well, and like a girl that has her boobs removed, you can get fake boobs, but you won't have those mammary glands anymore. You'll never be able to nurse a child.
Oh, Jack, she also brings up, hey, we let kids get plastic surgery all the time. One, you shouldn't let your kids be having plastic surgery.
What, kids that were in like fires and stuff? Or
No. Just normal stuff like nose jobs and boob jobs tend to be the ones that get done most. Either breast enlargements, breast reduction, or rhinoplasty. Those are the three main ones that children get done.
Yeah, I don't think that should be being done either.
The only one that I'll agree with there is the breast reduction, because it, like I've told this story before. I had a friend, she had her breasts reduced when she was 14 and she was still carrying double D's, dude.
Damn. Okay, see, that's medical necessity then.
It was causing her serious back problems. JB, thank you. It's okay to do whatever because we are all going to die. Stay away from my kids. Have to Jack. Thank you so very much.
Thanks, JB. Thank you, Cryptic. I came back to hormoning. I mean, the ethos do need to make money somehow.
True. It's just absolutely insane to me that people make these kind of arguments and they don't put any thought into it. It's like watching Debate Bros, man. They'll be like, no, look, I stopped swimming when I was a kid and I could have been the next Michael Phelps. So I changed my whole life. That's not the kind of shit we're talking about here. Yes, we all make decisions that change our lives. And yes, we don't force children, hey, you're a good swimmer. It's Soviet Russia, you get to be a swimmer now. We don't do that shit. But that is a world difference from altering their puberty, for fuck's sake. But don't worry, because somebody looked up some insurance information. It's only 4,000 kids. Don't worry about those 4,000 kids, Jack. Forget that it's miles and miles more than the intersex people, the hermaphrodites that they actually like to talk about all the time. That 4,000, even if it was just 4,000, it's too fucking many. You should not be doing that to children. And there is no medical reason to do it. None.
No, I don't care what adults do, but kids, no. That you're creating a lot of problems that are going to be a lifetime for this kid.
The one thing I will at least give this person credit for is that they didn't pull the they're going to kill themselves if you don't let them do it. At least that, though, would have been a better argument than some of the ones she actually makes, man. This article's fucking insane.
Yeah, this is a crazy person.
It's all over the place. It's filled with distractions that have nothing to do with the actual argument. She quotes people for reasons that make no sense. Like, they said this thing that sounded good to me. Okay, I guess. Sure.
I kind of got the impression like you were reading a manifesto.
It kind of comes out that way, don't it?
A little bit, yeah.
This is in the New York Times. The old gray lady.
Yeah, well, the old gray lady's got dementia, because that's pretty messed up stuff there.
It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Hang on one second. Okay. Keldrick, thank you. 4,000 is 4,000 too many. I agree.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be being done to kids. And when it does come to the hermaphrodites, parents do the best they can in that situation.
Oh, there's no good result in that. You're not going to... The kid's going to be screwed up. It's just the way it is. You're going to have a lot of problems and a lot of questions to answer later. You just have to kind of play it by ear, because it doesn't happen very often. It's an anomaly.
And this isn't like a case of John Money where there was a fucked up circumcision and they're just, raise it as a girl. And his whole life, he's like, I feel like I should have been a boy. And turns out he should have been. It's a hermaphrodite. They literally have both sex. They got a vagina and a penis. And the parents are like, flip a coin. And then they're like, I was raised as a boy and I felt like a girl. Your parents tried. They weren't being mean to you. It's literally not like the John Money thing where they just experimented on the child.
Yeah, and that ended in a horror show.
Mm-hmm. But then they'll use that 5 people. Last I knew, the number of hermaphrodites in the United States was like less than 20. But they'll use them every time to make the case that, transgenders is normal. It's normal. Been around since the beginning of time. You guys are fucking retarded. Leave children alone. But anyway, Jack, it really is worth the read just to see the kind of bullshit that the press does. The kind of nonsense that the people who push this stuff do, where the misdirection is just such shit. And that's what I mean. Go ahead.
No, it's just enraging because it's not even good sleight of hand. It's just like, look over here. There's like a giant billboard and a neon sign, and they're not even trying to hide what they're doing. They're just assuming you're going to pay attention to their stupid misdirect.
Tailfin says literally no one was thinking about it prior to Bruce Jenner. That's not true. It was still Bruce Jenner jumps on after it's already growing. Bruce Jenner just becomes this mega media star over it because of his association with the Kardashians.
Yeah, he became the face of the transgender movement for a little while.
And
until they realized he doesn't have the right politics.
If Bruce Jenner hadn't been married to the Kardashian chick, and he was living alone in the Hollywood Hills by himself, and he came out and said, "I'm a girl now," nobody would have paid any attention to him.
Yeah.
Nobody would have cared. But he just killed a woman, and he was in the news
after the transition stuff.
he was in the news, and so he's like, "I'm going to cut off my wee so that I can be more popular than Kris Kardashian." If he wasn't a celeb, it would have been nothing. Most celebrities, nobody gives a shit. There was an article that just came out today, Jack, that Billie Eilish, she said she likes girls,
and nobody cared.
And she's like, "I'm surprised people didn't know." Nobody gives a shit.
You're so stunning and brave.
Yeah. If you want to stun people, you got to go the Elliot Page route.
Yeah. And that's more like, wow, you're really fucked up and need help.
I was watching some pitch meeting today, and I caught a part where he calls her Ellen Page.
Whoops.
And I was like, ooh, I wonder if he could get... Nobody fuck with pitch meeting. People take my pitch meeting away. I will start my own jihad. All right. I need my pitch meeting. But I do wonder if somebody's being a shithead and watches that and go, "Oh, did he call her Ellen?" Even though it was Ellen at the time he recorded it.
Oh, that doesn't matter. You retroactively have to go back and change it, remember. That's how the world works now. We just rewrite history.
Bloodwing says, not so sure about that. He was a huge sports legend before his marriage. Yeah, I know who Bruce Jenner was before he got married. I grew up in the 80s. I am aware. He does this in the 2000s. Nobody cared about Bruce Jenner anymore.
Yeah, he was kind of a has-been.
Yeah. No, nobody gave a shit. That'd be like somebody bringing up Jesse Owens. That means something to us because, that's more contemporary to our time. He was, a major sports figure at the time. Bring up Jesse Owens today. Just walk up to any 20-year-old and go, "What do you think about Jesse Owens?" I mean, who? Times changed, old man.
You
gonna tell me about the Beatles next? Sorry, I was just fucking with my old friend there. We are going to wrap up here. Ladies and gentlemen, because of the upgrades to my computer and my RAM working, I can play Arc on stream, Jack.
Oh, nice.
As soon as I got my RAM put in last night, I went to Arc and I tested the shit out of it. I stressed the fuck out of it trying to get it to crash on me, and I couldn't.
Oh.
So it might give me some problems while I'm streaming. It might, have a crash here or there, but it should be okay. And at the very least, it won't be every 10 fucking seconds, which did happen to me a few times.
Yikes.
So I'm gonna be over on my channel, and hopefully Satsu will be joining me.
Oh.
Which is gonna be interesting because that means damn it. I appreciate the donation. So when I say, "Oh, damn it," please don't be offended. It's just I know I duck out when it happens. And there's no advanced warning for it. So hopefully Sats will be there, but we'll be playing on my Starlink. So he will be a little jumpy, and there's a chance that it'll disconnect. That shit happens.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Thank you, Evolved Potato. About the girl that needed breast reduction, did you offer to hold them for her? Just to help with her back, of course. That's what all men should do when a woman complains about her back pain. It's just gentlemanly. I didn't know her when she was 14. I met her when we were both 15, actually. I will not mention whether I ever held her boobies.
Oh, jeez.
I did hold her boobies.
I assumed as much when you said I'm not going to tell.
Look, I'm charming, and girls like me, man.
Yeah, I can't fault you for that. Thank you, Keldrick. The Cardassians, well, that explains it. They're probably plotting to destroy Starfleet through cultural Marxism.
Probably.
That would not surprise me. They look like lizard people, so you can't trust them. They're probably hatched. I'm talking about the Cardassians, not the species, but the people on TV. I know you're making a Star Trek reference, but I'm not. Thank you, Pumpkin Trucker. Does this shot make Lorena and John Bobbitt hipsters?
Yes.
Cut off his junk before it was cool.
Um, I don't know if that one still counts because it was against his will.
And a homeless guy found his dinker.
That's okay. He went on to make his own porn movie, which is still one of the weirdest things I've ever heard in my life.
Oh man, yeah, Frankenweenie.
I haven't seen it. It's one of those things I will never even look up for research because I don't want to see what happened to his junk.
I don't want to look at dude's wiener.
Not even for curiosity's sake, you know?
Yeah, I just have no interest in that.
But there were people who watched that.
Oh yeah,
ironically. They were like, I got to see what happened to this dude's junk.
Yeah, he probably made a pretty good chunk of money out of that.
Sure. It's one of the few times in the industry when people were watching for the guy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't gay because, you know, gay guys watch it for the guy.
Yeah. Well.
I don't understand our society, man. We make the Rome references and stuff, and that is a Caligula moment right there. Dude gets his wiener cut off and goes into porn.
Well, I mean, sometimes the second career just comes along, and you got to seize the opportunity.
Somewhere Nero is fiddling like a motherfucker.
No, we don't have him anymore. We got Biden, and he's a shuffling.
He's a shuffling.
Yeah, he's shuffling. His leg hairs rubbing together, making music like grasshoppers.
And then the little black kids come to rub it.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna leave you guys with that haunting nightmare of Biden making cricket sounds or grasshopper sounds while he's walking around the White House, shuffling at 2 a.m., lost, pooping his pants, going, pudding, ice cream, Matlock's on, where am I? Good luck with that nightmare.
As funny as that is, the stuff he actually says is funnier. That we need to pull up the clip one day and watch again when he's talking about how he understands black people because little kids rubbed his legs and shit.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's when I understand roaches. What?
Yeah,
the fuck did he just say?
Right? He said something kooky the other day too. Oh, he said Trump was a congressman.
Oh man. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Greatest Hits clip show on that.
We really should. We're wrapping up. Thank you for coming and hanging out. I will be over on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey playing some Ark. And like I said, hopefully Sats will be there with me. And if it cuts out, just hang around because it just comes right back. It's one of the things I really like about Twitch, Jack. As long as you're on the channel, if it's live, you see it. It's not like YouTube where it's like, oh, I'm on their channel. Now I have to click the thing to see it live. And then if it breaks down, you have to start a whole new one. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of the few places I think Twitch has a good difference. Anyway, the VODs still come up as separate videos, which is kind of funky, but that's really no different than how YouTube does it. But at least live, people can just stay where they are and not have to go to a whole new page. Twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. Thank you guys for the donations. You guys are so, so very kind. And for the record, I'm okay on the RAM. I really do appreciate it. And Disgruntled, thank you. That's very, very kind. And I probably will end up going up to the 32 because now I can.
Makes sense.
And it helps. Jack, anything you want to chill out?
I'll drop some links to some really cool videos. As always, thank you so much for the generous donations. You guys are amazing. It really does help out. It's how we eat and pay our bills.
Mm-hmm.
And keeps us going. So thank you guys for that. Thank you, Stargazer, for dropping the links and One Rebel over on Rumble. You guys are awesome. Remind me when we get offline to explain the how Nightcrawler was born to you.
Oh, right. Guys, thanks for watching. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
It's the Christmas season, ladies and gentlemen. Pick up some nice stuff for your friends, your family, that bitch you hate from the stores down below. Take care of yourselves. We love you, and we will see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. It just rolls off the tongue like a giant vagina.